how you doing?
Hey man, hey Christian, I'm doing fine. How about you?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Um, Hope you're ready for some questions that we have here for you today. I'm just excited to be able to talk with you. You've motivated me a great deal from day one of my journey till now. And before you even started your channel, you motivated me. Each video I put up, you just put encouraging words, and it really helped me out a lot. So I'm just excited to be able to interview you. So let me start off with the first question. Have you ever found yourself obsessive about the rate of growth of your hair?
That's sorry, that's a good question right there. Because I've probably been obsessive about the hair growth rate pretty much every single day. The first time around, that would be last year.
Okay.
I decided to grow my hair long again. That was November 2012. And then I was like, of course, I got really into the whole process and thoughts of how awesome it would look when it would be long. And I was measuring every single day, probably with a ruler. And I started writing forums which have to do with men growing their hair long and everything else. So of course, my entire way of thought was very much focused on the topic. So I was really, I mean, almost obsessive regarding the topic. So of course, I was really excited to get my hair long. As we all know, I got to 10 months before I dove into that whole dreadlock issue, and it didn't go the way I wanted it to go, and I had to restart back in September last year. Yeah.
I remember that.
So I can really tell this time around though it's not that bad anymore, because I've already been here like a couple of years ago or last year, and I know where I'm gonna be at 10th month and 12th month, so there's no stress whatsoever this time around.
So for this journey, since you had the dreadlocks for some of those that are watching, Raul had went for the dreads. He was going through there, and he had his hair back comb and had a problem with the dreads. It wasn't working. He had to shave it all off and start over fresh. So this time around, would you say that you're not as obsessive then?
That would be pretty accurate, man. I'm not as obsessive, but at the same time, I do long for long hair. Obviously, each time I see it's a rock star or a movie star I think has great hair, I'm like, oh, I wish I was there right now. Obviously. But I think the secret has been this time around to try to preoccupy myself with some other things as well, and not only obsess about long hair. And I feel that the past 5 months since I shaved my head up until this point right here, it's gone really quick, and a lot quicker in retrospective compared to the first time around. So yeah.
Let me ask you this then: for a person that's going through the journey the first time around, about what stage do you think, like maybe, I don't know if you can remember the first time you went through the journey, but at what point did you become, I guess, less obsessive?
First time around, I think I became a bit more relaxed in nature towards the whole goal of having long hair. Around the perhaps 8th or 9th month or so, when I started actually calling myself not a short hair person anymore. I was not long hair by any stretch, but I was in the middle of that awkward stage, and I could tell I got longer hair than most people down the street.
Right.
Now it's not long hair, obviously, not even close to it, but you can tell you're not short hair anymore, and that kind of gives you that safety, knowing I'm on my path, I'm in the correct way towards the goal.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. All right. Question 2: what advice would you give for dealing with peer pressure? That's one of the biggest downfalls to a lot of people when they start getting into that awkward stage. They go to work, they go to school, they're around family and friends, and everybody starts telling you, cut your hair, it looks messy. So what would be your advice for somebody going through that?
Yeah, that's a good question right there, Christian. And I'm sure all of us had to deal with peer pressure, either from our colleagues or family, parents, spouse, whatever, best friends. And obviously, people do not take those comments as seriously when it comes from strangers. But when it comes to your closest persons, it really hurts and makes you rethink the whole thing. Now, what I found to be really important is to decide when starting the journey, decide why do I want long hair? Really, how come I want long hair? What's the reasons for me wanting long hair? It doesn't matter what the reasons really are, as long as you're clear and concrete about them. You write them down, and then you always have to remember that those reasons, because those are your personal reasons. It doesn't matter what sort of comments you get, or what sort of pressure you get from anybody else. You can always get back to that list and see, yeah, I want long hair because I think it's manly, it's cool, it's awesome. It doesn't matter, you know. So the reasons have to come from within you. That's the thing. And obviously, when those comments come from your closest people, like your wife, your girl, your parents, if that's the case, you really have to get into your own head and try to verbalize really well why do you want long hair, and try to explain it, convey that reason in a really rational way, so that people can understand where you're coming from. And if there's somebody who cares about you and loves you, they will understand. I'm sure they will.
Right.
If it's just somebody who wants to give you crap, it doesn't matter really what they think, to be honest. So, yeah.
So yeah, you agree. I agree with that. So yeah, having probably a list of reasons of why you're doing it and kind of keep that close by, then will help you get through it.
Exactly. Just besides the picture on the fridge of your role model, whatever it is, the hair inspiration, have that in front of your face all the time, because you're gonna have shitty days when the hair looks like hell, and you're gonna want to go to the shower and take those scissors clippers and just shave it off. Remember what's the goal always. The goals and the reasons.